Hello everyone. Here we will discuss lattice energy. We are here to discussing chemical bonding. The last video we have discussed about the ionic bond. Here the energies involved in the ionic compounds is lattice energy. This is lattice energy or lattice enthalpy. So now we will discuss this. What is the lattice energy and what is the lattice enthalpy? We can define this lattice energy or lattice enthalpy in two ways. That is the energy released when 1 mole of ionic solid form from its constituent gaseous ions which are present in the isolated state, or energy is absorbed to break 1 mole of ionic compound into its gaseous ions. We can define in two ways. To form a 1 mole ionic compound, how much energy is released? Or to break 1 mole of ionic compound, how much energy is required? Both the case, the magnitude of energy is the same, but it is in opposite sign. One case energy is released, the other case energy is absorbed. So both are same only. So we can define the lattice energy like this. One is the energy released when 1 mole of ionic solid formed from its isolated gaseous ions. This point is very important here. Isolated gaseous ions. Or you can define in another manner, that is energy required to break 1 mole of ionic solid into its constituent gaseous ions. So it may be the energy is released or energy is required. Means we can take for example sodium chloride case. Let us take sodium gaseous ion in A plus and Cl minus gaseous ion. When these combine together, if they form 1 mole of sodium chloride solid, in this case the energy released we can call lattice energy. So this is on with respect to the first definition. With respect to second definition, the energy required to break, let us take again the same sodium chloride solid. To break the sodium chloride to form into its constituent gaseous ions, again Na plus gas and Cl minus gas. In this case the energy required we can call again the lattice energy or lattice enthalpy. But in this case energy is released. So here lattice energy is negative. Means this is an exothermic reaction. Whereas in this case to break this ionic solid we require energy, and in this case lattice energy is a positive value. Means this is endothermic reaction. So one case it is endothermic, one case it is exothermic. So both the case the energy is the same, but the sign is different. One is a negative and one is positive. So we can define the lattice energy in any manner. Now here the factors influence the lattice energy. What kind of factors influence on the lattice energy, and which compound is having more lattice energy and which compound is having less lattice energy. And this kind of comparative study, let us see now. Here anyhow the energy involved here, that is energy means the kind of force of attraction between the ions here. So here lattice energy actually directly proportional to the charge present on the ions, the product of the charge of the ions by the internuclear distance between the ions. Means let us take one ionic compound like A plus and B minus. So here the charge present on the two ions. And this is A plus, that means Z plus, and this is Z minus charge. The internuclear distance between the A and B. So here to here the distance, that is R. Generally they will present very close. In the ionic solid means always the atoms will present very close each other. So this internuclear distance we can take as the radius of cation plus a radius of anion. And this formula we can write like this. Now lattice energy is equals to some constant K into the product of charges by a radius of cation plus a radius of anion. And this is the formula for lattice energy. Now we will see the factors influence on the lattice energy. Now from this we can say that lattice energy is directly proportional to the product of the charge, that means directly proportional to charge, and inversely proportional to this is a radius of cation and radius of anion, nothing but the size of cation and size of anion. So we can say directly here, now lattice energy is directly proportional to charge and inversely proportional to size of the ions. So as the size of the ions increases, lattice energy decreases. As the charge on the ions increases, lattice energy increases. Let us take a few of examples here. Let me take sodium chloride and potassium chloride. So out of these two ionic compounds, which is having more lattice energy and which is having less lattice energy. Now both the case anion is the same. Now we compare with the cations, here sodium plus and K plus, and both the case the charge is same, 1 charges. So now we cannot compare the lattice energy with respect to charge. Now we can compare with respect to size. Here size of cation, the size of sodium plus is less than the size of the potassium plus. So as the size decreases, lattice energy increases. So here sodium chloride now is having more lattice energy than the potassium chloride. And similarly you can take other examples, sodium chloride, magnesium chloride and aluminum chloride. Again here all are anions, they are the same. Now cation Na plus, magnesium 2 plus and aluminum 3 plus. So as we know that the size of the these are isoelectronic species, Na plus, Mg2 plus and Al3 plus. So what is the size of the cation here? Na plus is bigger in size than magnesium 2 plus and aluminum 3 plus. And also size, now for aluminum size is small and charge also more. Now both factors influencing the lattice energy, both are favorable for more lattice energy. So here AlCl3 will shows more lattice energy than MgCl2 and NaCl. And similarly if we take some other examples like NaCl versus magnesium oxide. Here Na plus and Cl minus. Here magnesium 2 plus and oxygen 2 minus. Now see here both the case charge is dominating 2 2, here charge is 1 1. So now magnesium oxide is having more lattice energy than the sodium chloride. Now let us take some other examples here. Lithium oxide and lithium nitride. Now which is having more lattice energy? Again both the case the cation is the same. Now the anion. Anion here oxygen 2 minus and the nitrogen 3 minus. Now see with respect to size, here nitrogen minus and oxygen 2 minus. They are isoelectronic ions, and here N3 minus size is more compared to the O2 minus. So according to the size factor, lattice energy of lithium oxide should be more. Why? Because oxygen is less smaller in size compared to N3 minus. But compared to charge, with respect to charge, nitride should have more lattice energy. So here we have 2 points. One is with respect to size, and this should be the order. So here lattice energy should be more for lithium oxide compared to lithium nitride. This is with respect to size. If you consider size as the main factor, or if you consider charge as a main factor, then you will get the lattice energy order like this. Now lithium nitrogen is having more charge, so this should have the more lattice energy. Now see, we are getting two orders here. One case lithium oxide is more, and another case lithium nitride is more. Then which one we have to compare? So always we have to consider with respect to the charge. Always charge dominates over the size. Why? Because size difference is very small, but if you see the charge difference, almost 100% change. This 2 units and 3 units. But in case of size of oxygen and nitrogen, they are in the picometer range or nanometer range. So very smaller in value. So always we have to give preference to the charge. So now with respect to charge, if we compare, even though nitride ion is a bigger in size, though it has the more lattice energy. Why? Because it has more charge. Always charge dominates over the size. This point also we should keep in mind here. So like this we can compare the lattice energy of the ionic solids based on their charge and the size of the constituent ions. Next, calculation of lattice energy. Calculation of lattice energy. Generally lattice energy we cannot calculate or we cannot determine by direct experimental method. To calculate or to determine this lattice energy, we will attempt some indirect methods, and that method here is Born-Haber cycle. By using Born-Haber cycle we can calculate the lattice energy. We cannot calculate directly by using experimental method. So here we will discuss the Born-Haber cycle. So before we discuss about that Born-Haber cycle, here two terms involved. That is, one is the enthalpy of formation, one is S law. Generally, Born-Haber cycle is will calculate based on the Hess law. So what is this S law and enthalpy of formation? This generally will get in the thermodynamics, thermochemistry part. So first we will discuss those two words here. Enthalpy of formation. So what is the meaning of enthalpy of formation? This we can represent delta HF. So it is an enthalpy change when 1 mole of compound formed from its constituent elements which are in their standard state. So it is the enthalpy change. Enthalpy or energy. We can say the enthalpy change or energy change. When 1 mole of compound formed from its constituent elements which are in their standard state. In standard state, nothing but a kind of stable state. At a given temperature. This is an enthalpy of formation. What is this standard state means? What? For example, let us take sodium. For sodium, the standard state is sodium solid. If you take oxygen, for oxygen the standard state is O2 gas. If you take chlorine, the standard state is Cl2 gas. If you take bromine, the standard state is Br2 gas. Br2 liquid. And if you take iodine, the standard state for iodine is iodine solid. So these are the stable states, etc. So this is the meaning of standard state. And the second word here, Hess law. So what is the Hess law? Again here the heat energy or enthalpy change is the same in a chemical process whether the reaction takes place in one step or several steps. And next another one we have here, Hess law. So the definition for Hess law, the enthalpy change or energy change is the same in a chemical process whether it takes place in one step or several steps. This is the Hess law. Means what? Let us take one normal example. Let us assume one reactant A is converting as B. In this case, the enthalpy change, let us assume delta H. So from A to get the product, there is another path. First, let us assume the A is giving some intermediate C, and the C then converting as D, and finally this D will give the product to B. So now see the product formation B in the direct reaction or in this reaction. You can get any way, but you will get the product B. But in this case the enthalpy change delta H. Let us assume in this case the enthalpy change is delta H1, and in this case it is delta H2, and here delta H3. Now according to Hess law, the enthalpy change occurred in one step or several steps is the same. Means what? Delta H is equals to delta H1 plus delta H2 and delta H3. This is the Hess law statement. Now based on this Hess law, by using this Hess law and Born-Haber cycle, we can calculate lattice energy. Now we will see here calculation of lattice energy of sodium chloride. Born-Haber cycle for sodium chloride. First, sodium chloride, sodium solid and chlorine gas. When they combine each other, they can form 1 mole of sodium chloride. Here chlorine, if you take half mole of chlorine gas, you will get sodium chloride solid. And the energy released in this process, here 1 mole of sodium chloride is formed from its constituent elements which are in their standard state. So the energy released here we can call enthalpy of formation. Then what is the lattice energy here? Lattice energy means it is the energy of Na plus gaseous ion and Cl minus gaseous ion when they form NaCl solid. In this case the energy released we can call lattice energy. But see, naturally sodium plus gas is not available. Similarly Cl minus gas also not available. So you cannot calculate the lattice energy directly. Why? Because these two are not available. So further to calculate, we attempt some indirect method. How it is? First we will convert the sodium solid into sodium gas. A conversion of solid to gas. Directly solid to gas means sublimation process. So the enthalpy change involved here is called enthalpy of sublimation. Similarly, the sodium gas now we can convert into sodium gaseous ion. So here this is a removal of electron from isolated gaseous atom to get its ion. What energy here? Ionization energy. So the enthalpy change involved in this process is delta Hi. Similarly, come to the chlorine. First we have the chlorine molecule. To break this chlorine molecule and convert into chlorine atom, gaseous atom. And in this case the energy involved, just we are breaking the bond, we are dissociating the molecule. So hence the energy involved in this process is called dissociation energy. So here only half molecule, so we are taking half dissociation energy. Next, this chlorine gas too we have to convert into Cl minus gas. Why? Because we require Na plus and Cl minus. And here we are adding one electron to the isolated gaseous chlorine, then we will get Cl minus gaseous ion. The energy involved in this process is electron affinity process. So enthalpy is electron gain enthalpy Eg. Now if we combine these two ions together, then if we get sodium chloride, NaCl solid, then in this process the energy released is called lattice energy. Now see, the enthalpy change involved in this process, this direct process. This is a single step and these are the various steps to get again sodium chloride. Now according to Hessler, the enthalpy change in this process and enthalpy change in this process is the same. So now according to Hessler we can write like this: enthalpy of formation is equals to, so this energy, this energy, this energy, this one and this one, total 5. So here delta H sublimation and delta H ionization, and here half of dissociation, and this is electron gain enthalpy plus lattice energy. And here enthalpy of formation is a known value experimentally, and sublimation also known value experimental, this also known value, this also known value, and electron gain enthalpy also known value. So by knowing these known values we can find out the unknown value, that is the lattice energy. So like this we can calculate the lattice energy by using Born-Haber cycle. So here the lattice energy, it is having negative value, means it is exothermic. Similarly electron gain enthalpy, also energy releases in this process, it is also negative. And enthalpy of formation, this is also negative. Here three energy values, exothermic in nature, enthalpy of formation, electron gain enthalpy and lattice energy, they are having negative values. The remaining three, here sublimation, ionization and dissociation, they are having positive. They are undergoes endothermic reaction, and these three undergoes endothermic, means energy involved is positive. Now we'll see the experimental values of this sodium chloride. Actually how much energy releases when sodium chloride form from its constituent elements. Let us take some experimental values here. Now see, these are the experimental values for the sodium chloride. Here enthalpy of formation minus 411 kilojoule per mole, and enthalpy of sublimation for sodium 108 kilojoule per mole, and enthalpy of ionization for sodium 496, and for chlorine dissociation 244, and electron gain enthalpy minus 349 kilojoule per mole. These are the experimental values. Now based on these experimental values, now we can calculate lattice energy. So what is the formula we have? Delta H formation is equals to delta H sublimation, delta H ionization, and place of half of delta. So now we can calculate this lattice energy. We have the formula: enthalpy of formation is equals to delta H sublimation, delta H ionization plus half of delta H dissociation plus electron gain enthalpy, and finally lattice energy. And this delta H formation, it is minus 411, sublimation values 108, ionization energy 496 kilojoule, and half of dissociation, half into this is 244, and electron gain enthalpy is a negative value, that is minus 349 plus lattice energy. Just if we simplify this one, we will get lattice energy is minus 788 kilojoule per mole. And this is a enthalpy, this is a lattice energy for sodium chloride experiment. This is indirect method by using Born-Haber cycle. Let us take one more example for calculation of lattice energy of ionic solid. A sodium chloride, both the case the charge is 1,1. Let me take one more example for bivalent. Let us take one example here. Magnesium oxide. A calculation of lattice energy by using Born-Haber cycle for magnesium oxide. How to calculate? Again, same process here. First, magnesium exists in the nature as a magnesium solid and oxygen as a O2 molecule. And to get magnesium oxide 1 mole, we require half mole of oxygen. The energy involved in this process is delta H formation. We have to calculate lattice energy. What is the lattice energy? So the lattice energy is magnesium 2 plus ion gas and oxygen 2 minus gas. They will form magnesium oxide. In this case, the energy released is called lattice energy. Now we have to convert these naturally existing standard elements into the respective isolated gaseous items. So first, magnesium, we have to convert it into the magnesium gas. The energy involved here, delta H sublimation. Next, magnesium gas, we have to convert into magnesium plus ion. First, we have to remove one electron. Here the energy involved is called ionization energy 1. We require magnesium in +2 oxidation state. So we have to remove one more electron from the magnesium to get magnesium 2 plus. And here energy involved is ionization energy 2. Now come to the oxygen. First we have to break the oxygen molecule into oxygen atom. Then oxygen gas. So here energy involved is dissociation energy. Next, oxygen gas we have to convert into O minus by adding electron. Here electron affinity 1, that is the electron gain enthalpy 1. And the next O minus to O2 minus. Again this is in the gaseous state. Here energy involved is electron gain enthalpy 2. So keep in mind, always electron gain enthalpy 1 is negative value, but electron gain enthalpy 2 is always positive for oxygen case. Again, when we combine both magnesium 2 plus and oxygen 2 minus, and they will form again magnesium oxide. Here the energy involved is called lattice energy. Again, the enthalpy change in this process or in this process is the same according to S law. So we can write final equation. Delta H formation is equals to all energies involved here. Delta H sublimation plus ionization energy 1 plus ionization energy 2. Two ionization energies. And dissociation plus electron gain enthalpy 1 plus electron gain enthalpy 2 and lattice energy. Again, all these values are known experimentally, and unknown value is lattice energy that we can calculate again by applying their respective values.
If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.